Hi, thanks for joining me. This is Jessie, and this is my channel, The Caffeinated Bookworm, and I have a mini rant for you today. So, in all of the bookish emails that I get, there's something that has stuck out to me recently, and I see it over and over and over again. And it's like when you get a car and you never notice anybody who drove that car until you got the car, and then it seems like everybody and their mother wants to drive that car. It's kind of like that with this. So I've noticed that there's a way that the media has been portraying books, and it takes one book and it says this book meets this book in this book. And I mean, I'd like to preface this by saying that a lot of these sound like they'd be excellent reads. This has no bearing on whether the book is a good book or whether the author writes well, and I don't even think this is something that can be blamed on the authors. It's solely the bookish media, and it is across the board. I get it in every single email from every single bookish outlet that I'm subscribed to. And so I'm going to go over some of these, and I feel like they're doing the stories and the authors an injustice, because it's making it appear that everything has to meet at a crossroads. It seems like they have to abide by this equation or algorithm to create their works instead of forging a new path, and it drives me crazy every time I see it. So the first book is A Time for Monsters by Gareth Worthington, and like I said, a lot of these books sound like they'd be amazing. So the description is a Nordic thriller in the vein of The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo meets Death Wish. Vicarious by Rhett C. Bruno. Ready Player One meets The Truman Show with a dash of the 100 in the science fiction story about the power of human connection. Light from Uncommon Stars by Rika, Aoki. Good Omens meets The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet in Rika Aoki's Light from Uncommon Stars, a defiantly joyful adventure set in California's San Gabriel Valley with cursed violins, Faustian bargains, and queer alien courtship over fresh-made donuts. This is going to probably end up being a platform in which to push these books, and that's fine. I do think that a lot of these books sound good, and so this ends up being a platform for attention towards these books, or gets you to go look at this book and say, hey, that actually sounds like it could be a good book, then that's wonderful. The Lost Vintage by Anne Ma. Sweet Bitter meets The Nightingale in this page-turning novel about a woman who returns to her family's ancestral vineyard. The Actual Star by Monica Byrne. David Mitchell's Cloud Atlas meets Octavia Butler's Earthseed series as acclaimed author Monica Byrne spins a brilliant multi-generational saga spanning 2,000 years. Some of these crossroads sound really good. So, I mean, there's the old saying, write what you want to read. If there's something out there that you want to read and it's not written yet, write that. And so maybe some of these authors meant to make those cross sections in their books. Some of these sound like they'd make for good stories. The Matrix comes up a lot in these emails, where it's The Matrix meets this and The Matrix meets that, and you'll see a few of those here later. But some of them, when it says this meets this, I'm just kind of left like, I don't think that's the push you wanted for this book. The Cost of Knowing by Brittany Morris. Dear Martin meets They Both Die at the End in this gripping, evocative novel about a black teen who has the power to see into the future. Destroyer of Light by Jennifer Marie Brissett. The Matrix meets an Afrofuturistic retelling of Persephone set in a sci-fi underworld of aliens, refugees, and genetic engineering. Citadel by Kate Moss. Raiders of the Lost Ark meets the Da Vinci Code in this epic tale of mystery and adventure. The Witch Haven by Sasha Payton Smith. The Last Magician meets The Lady's Guide to Petticoats and Privacy in this thrilling and atmospheric historical fantasy. The Jasmine Project by Meredith Ireland. Jenny Han meets The Bachelorette in this effervescent romantic comedy. Dare to Know by James Kennedy. Dark Matter meets Annihilation in this mind-bending speculative thriller set in a world where the exact moment of your death can be predicted. Dark Intercept by Andrews and Wilson. Taken meets Stranger Things in this new thriller. A Million Junes by Emily Henry, pitched as Romeo and Juliet meets 100 Years of Solitude. Ace of Spades by Farida Abiki-Yumidi. Gossip Girl meets Get Out in Ace of Spades, a YA contemporary thriller about two students and their struggles against an anonymous bully. The Eighth Excalibur by Luke Mitchell. King Arthur meets Mass Effect in this fresh new space opera saga. Metcraft by Brian Fitzpatrick. It's The Matrix meets Harry Potter. The Family Plot by Megan Collins. It's like Umbrella Academy meets Tana French. Dark, claustrophobic, and beautifully written. Piñata by Leopoldo Gout. A Head Full of Ghosts meets Hereditary in a terrifying possession tale. Legacy of the Lost by Lindsay Farley and Lindsay Sparks. Laura Croft meets Indiana Jones. So it's essentially the same thing. The Infamous Frankie Lord, Going Wild. Series by Brittany Garagodalis. Tiger King meets Ocean's 8 in this slick second book in the series. That's one of those what moments. I don't think that worked the way you wanted it to. So tell me what you think. Do you like it when books are described as this meets this and that meets that? Are you tired of books being described this way? Are you an author? Do you want your book described as another book meets a different book? Do you feel like that kind of takes away from the originality of your piece? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe.